Hi, Brian. Welcome. Thanks so much for being here today. I'm excited to have you teach a course this fall in the senior college. Can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself today?
Yes, my name is Brian Frederick. I am a professor of political science here at Bridgewater State University. At least for another year, I'll be the chair of the political science department as well. I teach courses at both the graduate and undergraduate level. So I teach courses in Introduction to American Government, Campaigns and Elections, and many other courses. And then for the graduate program, I teach the data analysis course along with a few others as well. So I've got pretty extensive experience in a wide variety of different topics in American politics. So I'm excited to have the opportunity to teach in the senior college. Again, I taught last fall. It was a course that dealt with political reforms in American politics. So various issues that deal with how the political system within the United States might be reformed and the pros and cons of some of those ideas. So I have a little bit of experience with this program and excited to continue to teach in it this fall as well.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit. Your course this fall is called Campaign 2022, the U.S. Midterm Elections. Can you tell us a little bit about what people will learn or expect to learn in your course?
Yes, the objective of the course is to give a broad overview of the midterm elections. So we'll start out at the national level and look at the control for Congress specifically. So we will look at what are some of the long-term factors that shape outcomes in midterm congressional elections. Oftentimes when you see the media cover these elections, the tendency is to focus in on some of the individual candidates and their unique attributes or things that they've said that garner a lot of attention, or maybe an issue of the moment that is on the minds of voters. And we'll certainly address some of those topics, but uh, we as political scientists believe that there are some observable patterns that we can see over time. And so I hope to give some insight about what might we expect to see happen in the midterm elections, given the sort of conditions that we have now in the country. We'll also look at some of the issues at stake, and then what might happen if either party controls either the House or the Senate. Uh, After that, we'll take a little bit of a step closer to home and look at the elections here in Massachusetts. I think primarily we'll focus on the governor's race. We have an incumbent, Charlie Baker, who has served over the past 8 years, who's ending his term as governor. And so we have open seats. We'll have a new person occupying that position. The Democrats don't have a candidate who's facing opposition. The Attorney General, Maura Healey, will be the Democratic nomination, but the Republicans do have a contest to decide who their nominee is going to be between business owner Chris Doty and former state representative Jeff Deal. By the time this course starts, we'll know who the nominee is, and so we can kind of focus on the contest between those candidates. May delve a little bit into some of the other constitutional offices, but certainly the main focus will be on the governor's race in Massachusetts. And then we'll also have a look at the state ballot initiatives. This is something that my colleague Kevin Donnelly and I have done for the Democratic Governance and Leadership Program the past 3 election cycles. We're going to do our own separate event on this particular topic, but also fold it into this course where we look at direct democracy, where it's not just voting on candidates, it's actually the voters that get to decide on these issues. And we have a particularly important ballot initiative. It's actually a referendum this year, looking at the Fair Share Amendment. So we'll examine the pros and cons of whether there should be a progressive income tax in Massachusetts, and should that money be used for more education and transportation funding, as the proponents advocate, or should we maintain the flat income tax that we've had in Massachusetts and not adopt that amendment? So we'll go forward and look at that. There's a couple of other smaller ballot initiatives on the ballot as well. I won't spend too much time because they're fairly minor issues, but we'll make reference to that. And we'll also just talk about what the initiative process is. What is the initiative process versus the referendum that I mentioned earlier, and how are those two distinctive here in the state, and what are some of the arguments around direct democracy as well. Then once the elections are over with, we'll take a look at the exit poll data and look at the final numbers, who is in control of Congress, the House and the Senate, who did end up winning the Massachusetts governor's race in exit polls. Why did voters say they made the choices that they made? Did that line up with sort of the expectations that we outlined earlier in the courses? Were there any surprises? And so we'll talk about that. And then the last course, we'll take a preview. We'll look at the 2024 presidential election, who might be running in that election. What do the midterm elections signal about what the results of the 2024 presidential election might look like? And we'll do a little bit of a discussion of the primary process at the national level. There's been some proposed changes that may be relevant, particularly if the Democrats do end up having a contest. They've reassigned who the first voting states are. So that'll be an interesting thing to preview. So that'll kind of wrap up this course, looking at the midterm elections with the preview section of it for 2024.
Excellent. Wow. I mean, this is the perfect course for anyone that's looking to be more informed as a voter. And, you know, as I'm looking at the dates for the course, it begins on October 13th, meets on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m., ends on November 17th. I mean, we did pretty good, Brian, with scheduling this course. And I'm sure you gave that some thought when you selected these dates, that, you know, this is an ideal opportunity for a member of senior college to understand things that are happening here at the local level in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and then of course beyond throughout our country. So we're really looking forward to this. Again, it's called Campaign 2022, the U.S. Midterm Elections, with Dr. Brian Frederick. Brian, thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you in class in the fall. Thank you.
Thank you.